this pastor, he would tell me about. His name is Pastor Monroe, and I try my best to lead by that. He says a father is the foundation for his household. Yes, you are the head, but when he says head, it's more just the bottom, because you got to be the man, the person to uplift your family, not be on over top of them. And it speaks so much volumes, because it's just like, okay, as the man, as the dad, as the husbands, they are counting on me. They count on us as, as the leader, to lead them to success, to glory, to better financial days to come. And I really appreciate my dad. I love you, Daddy.
This is For Fathers, a podcast for fathers to uplift and encourage each other with the understanding that we are the forefathers of the next generation. I got my boy Malik Brandon, met you in a Walmart. This is episode 119. Man, tell everybody what's up.
How y'all doing? It's a pleasure to be in here, man. I'm just excited that we just crossed paths the way we did. Man, like I was telling you earlier, I was telling my wife I've been wanting to do something like this for a while, and I was just nervous to do it because I just, I see podcasts all the time, and I just didn't know how it would go and flow. And, you made me feel real relaxed, and this is a nice environment. I love what you're doing here, man.
I appreciate that, man. You really should just jump on it. I mean, my first couple episodes, especially on video, and then like I said, I started in 2020, so they was trash. I had to get to the kinks, and once you get better at it, you be all right. So you gotta jump off the porch, as they say.
Yeah, once I gotta get that fear out and just go for it, like you said, man. Jump off the porch, get my kids and our fellow fathers something to look forward to, and a lot of encouragement.
Right. So what would be your idea though? Like what would be a podcast you wanted?
Fatherhood, life lessons, a lot of advice, things, my dad gives me, what I can give to other dads, people who wants to become parents, just brotherly advice. I'm here for it. I've been married for a couple months now, and if I can get marital advice, yeah, oh man, that's the love of my life, man. I hope she see it. Yeah, I tell anybody, because I never forget my dad and my cousin asked me, like, why you getting married? You only know it for a couple months, and I told them the same thing. She gave me something I never received from other women. She see my flaws, my insecurities and stuff, and still accepted me for who I am, who I was per se. I did a lot of changing and growing up for, my own sake, I can say, but for her too. And I'm still growing up. I'm only 25, but she understand that. I understand that she's growing up. She got me about 3 years. She's 20. She'll be 28.
That's what's up.
But I would have never guessed being married to the person I'm married to had been such a blessing and abundant.
Right. So how was that? I guess your thought process, because it's only been a couple months, you already had a kid. And so like, what was your thought process in that? Were you afraid? Like, did she show signs of, did she have her own kids as well? Or did she show signs of just motherly instincts that you felt comfortable to bring around your kid?
No, she actually didn't have any kids, but she was very loving, understanding with my oldest. My oldest like gravitated toward real fast, and I was like real surprised. I was very like cautious about who I had around my child, and because I had before I talked to her, I was talking to her, I was talking to other people, and I was just like, nah, this ain't it. You can't beat my child. And they have seen my son on the phone, but when he saw her in person, it was just like, wow, like I would have thought that was his mom. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
No
right, right.
disrespect.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
That
So you
was
so you said your oldest is autistic, right? So with that extra element, I guess what were you looking for in a wife or a girlfriend at that moment? 'Cause you said the other ones didn't work out.
um. To be honest, she actually was the one who pointed it out to me. And I didn't even know what autism was until, she kind of introduced it to me and, you know, taking him to the doctor, him being tested and learning what autism was. To be honest, I'm still learning,
Yeah.
it's such a spectrum with autism. And, she kind of, cause she is in the medical field right now. She's like in the pharmaceutical realm, but she told me, okay, he needs to go to physical therapy, occupational speech, because my son is nonverbal for the most part. He said like a couple words. You know, her giving me the encouragement to like actually learn about it, and my son has developed so much because of it.
Yeah.
And I can't only just say thank you. I can't say thank you enough for what she has done for me and my son and our family.
That's
But
dope, man. I mean, to have somebody in that field, like that's like just like us meeting in Walmart, but that's Lord willing, but that's God's plan that to help you out with that, man. Because I know even hearing that as a father, as a parent in general, but that's kind of scary because, like you say, you don't know what to even do. Like, what's the next step?
for
So, I
sure,
guess
like
when you heard, like, I guess what thoughts went through your mind?
it's crazy. Like we always suspected he was autistic, but we actually found out that he is autistic maybe like 2 months ago.
Oh yeah,
And
so it's fresh.
it's just like just to have that clarification of okay, we know he is. It's like okay, we know where to go. We always, speculated, and it was kind of like I was sad to know that he was actually autistic because it's just like learning could be a little bit harder. Doing things it's gonna be a little bit harder because he's a kid, but I can tell sometimes his focus is not there all the time.
Hmm.
But we just work through it, and I can only say he's doing his best. I'm doing it. I'm doing my best as his dad.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I can only imagine. Like, kids is hard enough, right?
Yeah.
And but it's awesome that you have that your wife that's really just pushing for that, and you mentioned off air how she's your biggest motivator. So like how's she besides telling the pharmaceutical part of it, like how she's been help with you with all this?
Reminding me to, oh, you have this appointment, which I'm on top of appointments for the most part, but you know, she introduced me to so much because I was going through some, legal things with my oldest. She kind of introduced me to, oh, get get legal advice because man, that was a dark time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know.
I'm I and I would, if you don't mind me saying, anybody, I mean, who's going through any type of custody of like issues, please get legal advice. And if you got the funds to get the lawyer, because like from personal experience, it's just been the biggest help.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not gonna go too deep about it, but I would say it was a time where I haven't seen my son for months, and I was depressed, and you
It'll do
know,
it,
man, when it comes to your kids, man,
bruh.
it's
It'll
tough.
do it.
And I can say if you going through it and you have, and I say it like this, having a supportive partner is the biggest thing. And she understood I was going through it. Like I was frustrated, and she kind of told me to get therapy, like go to a therapist. At first, I didn't want to, because kind of my ego and pride was like a factor, and it happened twice. Like it first time went to court and I got him, and it happened again, and it was just then I actually hired a lawyer, and best thing in my life. It went from 50-50 to now I'm the primary parent, and
That's dope. That's awesome.
yeah.
That's so awesome, bro. Congrats on that. But that's big. I don't care what nobody say. Hey, well, all the fathers know that. You said, hey, but I've been through that, but that's big. That's awesome. Congrats on that, man.
Thank you. Thank you. And anybody who's going through it, get legal advice and get a therapist. If you don't have any type of like support from your family, your lady, or whatever it might be, talk to that therapist from personal experience. Like I know, and it helped. And just to get that unbiased opinion, and my therapist like lessons I kind of try to carry over to my everyday life. Some things, that makes me frustrated, or, it's just, what would she say? It's outside of your control. If it's outside of your control, it's nothing you can really do but just be who you are, and just remain positive.
That's so tough for us men, though, ain't it? Like, this stuff is outside of control and
Yep.
not trying to control it. Like, oh, man, that junk is so tough. I'll be trying, bro. I'll be trying.
Yeah, man. Sometimes when you upset, it's just you gotta think about the bigger picture, and because it's so much easier to crash out than to remain composed.
It is, bro, ain't it? Like, and sometimes it feel better too. Like you say that thing you really wanted to say, you've been wanting to say for a long time, and you finally say it, and you hurt that feeling, you see that sour look and all that kind of stuff. So it was like, yeah, I got it off. But like, dang, at the end of the day, this is not helping at all. I feel you on that, my brother.
Absolutely. That's the real reward here. Besides, just letting off steam. Uh, man, just being. I might get in trouble for it. Being in a marriage and or a relationship. You know, you you'll be upset with your partner, your significant other, and I have learned to just be calm, even when I'm frustrated. You have your moments, but I try to not to learn to lash out on somebody I love that dear, and I I get irritated, I get mad, but I try not to say something I truly don't mean to my wife, to my
Hmm.
kids, just because I have got some things said to me and it hurt my feelings. So I get it. I'm not perfect. I have done stupid things, but I try to learn from it the best I can. You know.
Yeah. So you freshly married. I mean, I'm fresh too. Like I'm just over a year. And I think one
Okay.
thing we not struggling with, but one thing we've been working on is communicating. That's always all couples that all for the rest of your life, right? My parents
Yes,
just hit
man.
44 years and they still talking about communication. So I guess besides controlling your tongue and all that kind of stuff, what are some of the things y'all been working on? Anything you feel okay to share? Because at the end of the day, you got sons, so your sons seeing what you're doing. So no,
Mhm.
at the end of the day, how you treat your wife and what they see is what they're gonna mimic at the end of the day. So what else are y'all working on to better yourself or better your relationship, I should say?
I would say for me, especially, I sometimes I don't always speak my mind. Even if in a calm situation, like sometimes I just kind of go with the flow. I always have that mentality. I'm just like, it is what it is. But and she just, I think her biggest thing, in my opinion, is like, well, what are you thinking? What's going on inside your head? Because I kind of grew up in a household. It was like, be quiet. So I
Yeah.
kind of carried that into adulthood, and not to blame, like put anything on my parents, but they did their best. They're doing their best, because
Yeah.
you know. But I kind of carried that in to fully express myself at times. It's kind of difficult because sometimes I don't always know what I think, and I kind of not be saying out loud, but it's just how I
But
process it.
it's real. No, it's you ain't wrong. It's real. Sometimes we don't know what our emotions are. Let's be real about it, especially when we've been told not to express as men, not to express our emotions. Sometimes I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. I just know I'm mad or I know I'm upset. I don't know why. I'm just there. So I feel you, bro. You don't sound crazy.
yeah, I appreciate it because it's just in the heat of the moment. Sometimes it's just like kind of be flabbergasted about certain things. Like my child did what? Like earlier today, my son jumped off the couch. He had like a toy little shopping cart and tried to jump into the cart. And in the heat of the moment, I'm just like, what were you thinking, man? Like it's stuff like that. There's just granted, in serious type of things like we go through in marriage. It's like I get where she's coming from, and I understand, but sometimes it's just it's kind of hard to like break that habit. And I'm trying to do my best because at the end of the day, and I see us getting old together, and it's like this is something she finds and very important that will carry us into forever. And from that perspective, I gotta understand where she's coming from. So I think with on that form of communication on my end, I think that's important.
So since you grew up, in a house where you wouldn't be able to talk, and your wife's wanting you to talk more, do you find it hard to be a leader? Like, is it hard for you to be like the upfront, boisterous, like speaking as well, like that kind of leader?
At times, like when it comes to like medical decisions, I when it comes to like, okay, yeah, if he needs an appointment, let's do it, or but when it comes to like financial, maybe sometimes, maybe household things, and when especially with the household, because like my wife, when it comes to like what we're gonna get, I feel like that is her lane, man. I feel like if I pick something out right now, and my wife is like, I don't want it. So it's like, okay. So I'm just like, okay. But
Yeah.
uh, I try to do my best leading my family. I have learned from my dad, and I can honestly say this: the older my dad has become, the better he has gotten as a father, and he has taught me some things in my adult years that I haven't. He didn't teach me growing up as a kid,
Mm.
and it's this pastor. He would tell me about. His name is Pastor Monroe, and I try my best to lead by that. He says a father is the foundation for his household. Yes, you are the head, but when he says head, it's more just the bottom, because you got to be the man, the person to uplift your family, not be on over top of them. And it speaks so much volumes because it's just like, okay, as the man, as the dad, as the husbands, they are counting on me. They count on us as the leader to lead them to success, to glory, to better financial days to come. And I really appreciate my dad introducing me to him and just teaching me that even later on in fatherhood myself, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome.
And
I mean, you right in my lane. That's biblical. You know, we the foundation on the cornerstone, which is Jesus Christ. You know, he's a solid rock on which we stand, man. So when we cracked and when we struggling, you know, the house that's built, you know, the house that your wife built and your kids and all that kind of stuff becomes rocky. So that's awesome
yeah,
that you got that advice. But also part of leadership is delegating. So sometimes if your wife is better at something, then there ain't nothing wrong with you delegating. It's not making you less of a leader. As long as you
okay,
are still being that foundation.
yeah,
My wife is like she's better with numbers. Like she works in finance, so she's going to do the budget. Like we're going to
okay,
sit there together and we're going to do all that kind of stuff. But she's in finance, so why wouldn't she do the budget? You know what I mean? She crunch numbers. She does math. I got to use a calculator. I don't know what's going on. So
yeah,
like, it ain't nothing. That's still being a leader because that's you delegating. So like, don't think that you being anything less than when you do something like that. If she can, shop better, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? That's something
yeah,
small, but whatever the case may be. So,
yeah,
but it is a lot of pressure, man. Being a leader, right? It's kind of it's man to man, bro. It's kind of scary sometimes. What if you make the wrong decision? I think that was one
yeah.
of my things when I got married. I was just worried about making the wrong decision. Not with getting married, but like when we all in the house, all of our finances together, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, like I feel like us as men, but I feel like it's worse for the women. It's like we tend to overthink, but I know they overthink because it's like if he crumbles, I got to pick up the pieces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I try my best to sympathize and understand. Try to be an understanding husband when it comes to that. You know, and I feel like the exposure to certain things that I may or may have not got as a kid and what she has been exposed to or may not have exposed to really shows in volumes and our day to day life.
You ain't never
And
lied.
yeah, because I can honestly say, and we was talking about this the other day. She showed me a video about how a woman would say her husband spoils her, and the video was saying like the man was like, "No, you spoil me." And I can honestly say, like, my wife has introduced me to so much, and not only being the supportive woman and amazing woman she is, like she's introduced me to like trying to. I have never been out of the country, and we're going to go to Costa Rica in October.
Mhm.
We're trying to look for something like for our honeymoon. Like, and not when I say like my first initial react thought to is like, man, I'm terrified to go. I've never been outside of. You know, I've been to Tennessee. I've been to South Carolina, Virginia, but I have never been outside like
The East
the
Coast, yeah.
East. Yeah, and it's just like, wow, she's really showing me some stuff. Like, I have a watch. I've never been a watch guy. Like, I have a chain, but I don't wear it all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and the things she have, taught me, and it's just like, wow, man. Like, it's okay to be emotional as a man. Like, granted, my dad has taught me that, but to hear from my wife to be vulnerable, more vulnerable, and not like feel like you're being pressured to, or it feel like it's gonna come back and bite you in the butt. It's just amazing, and I can give that woman credit so much in this podcast alone.
Yeah. Hey, that's real. I mean, I think that's one thing I praise my wife about as well. Like, just like you said, we worried about it coming to bite us back, right? And if we get too emotional, if we show that side of us, the softer side, you're gonna use it against us. You're gonna talk about us. We're gonna have to hear for the rest of our life, type stuff. So I have to pat my wife on the back for the same exact thing, creating that environment. Um, I think I heard one time that like the man is the thermostat, and like the woman's the temperature or something like that. I can't remember exactly how it goes, but like the man sets the temperature, but the woman is like the atmosphere or something like that. I don't know. I thought it was pretty dope though.
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying. I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
deep. Uh, yeah, she will always tell me this too. She'd be like, I always appreciate just you letting me be who I am. She's a very person that likes to buy purses, cups. I like shoes. I got the dad game hat. I love hats, games. I'm an anime nerd. I'm trying to collect like action figures, like things I wanted growing up. Granted, my parents gave me stuff, but I was, a kid, you break what you
Yeah,
been, you're
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So it's like she collects her things. Sometimes I might talk a little junk just to be funny, but at the end of the day, I know, okay, she loves this type of stuff, and when I want to get something, she's not going to really bite me about it. But uh, with like your kids, and how is it different from like your oldest to your youngest? Like, do you feel
So
like it got easier?
man, so my story is a lot different. So my oldest, I got through marriage. So I met her when she was 6, and so she's 10 now, right? So I dated my wife about three, yeah, like 2, 3 years. Then we got married for a year. Yeah, so 4 years. Then my oldest two live in South Carolina. My oldest biological two, my 9 and 7,
Okay.
live in South Carolina. We never really been in the same house no more than like 2 weeks. But that's a story in itself.
Yeah,
And then I got my 6-year-old. She lives in Rocky Mount. She was living with me for a little minute, but she wanted to go back with her mom. So I have two different mom, and then my wife. So I this is really my first time really being in the house, being with through all the process of the pregnancy, all that kind of stuff. So I got a little different story. My 9-year-old and 7-year-old, their mom, we went through same similar stuff that you went through. Yeah, but I was in that thing for years, bro. It was tough. So I'm really on the other side of things now, man. It's and really being here every day it's been a blessing. Just really just experiencing it, like experiencing pregnancy, because I was out there, like I wasn't a good, I wasn't a perfect guy either. Like I was still bouncing around. I was trying to hoop still. Like I was I could have been better. You
I
feel
get
me?
it, man.
So
We can always be better as men, as dads. You know, when my oldest mom told me, I, made sure I was at the area appointment, but I could have done better for sure. Like, I didn't know nothing about like postpartum, nothing
yeah,
about like the
yeah,
emotional aspect of it. And, you know, after it was all said and done with me and her and me and my now wife got together, I always told myself, like, if I ever get this one pregnant, I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna be as supportive as I can, you know, and just to be there for her. And I'm gonna say this, and I want her to hear this part. She was mean, but it's all good. I still love her.
yeah. Yeah, they change up a little bit, don't they? On
Oh
that
man,
postpartum, but I mean, it's something you gotta be there for. Like I was always there for the kids. I just wasn't always there for the woman. So that was my downfall at the end of the day. Um, but with my wife now, I really, like you said, I took a whole different approach. I said I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna take care of all that kind of stuff. She wasn't mean like that. She had a lot of cravings and stuff like that, but just real emotional, cry at the drop of a hat
yeah,
type
oh
stuff.
yeah.
And to me, I'm just like, I don't know how I'm gonna deal with this crying, but we're gonna get through it. So, but
It's like she was mean at first, but like after a while, then because we won't. we were actually like living together when she was first pregnant, and when we got, we started living together. Oh man, that's when the emotion really started to show. Then the postpartum, I'll never forget like my first day going back to work. Oh man, she blew cried. I felt bad. I was like, do I stay? Do I go to work? Man,
What's the right decision,
I didn't know
right?
what. Yeah, like on my breaks, I try to make sure I call, check in on the baby and my oldest. But for sure, like
Oh, so she was at home with both of them then.
yeah, that would make me
Yeah.
feel worse because you know at- when my youngest was born. Granted, even with both my kids, I was working at Aldi, the grocery store,
Mm-hmm.
and when I first started, I was part time. So when I first started, like I was like a weekend before my oldest was born, or 2 weeks, something like that, and I didn't have paternity leave at the time because I was part time. My boss was
Mm-hmm.
gonna give me like 2 weeks, but my oldest mom was just like, go to work. We need the money. And with my youngest, I was there long enough. I became a lead, and I qualified for the paternity leave. So, and it was on like 6 to 8 weeks. So it wasn't really long, but I was appreciative just to spend that time with them for that time.
Nah,
So
I enjoy paternity leave, man. I was at the crib with the baby all day and the wife, just enjoying. I think I had 6 weeks, I think. No, I had 4 weeks. I lied. I had 4 weeks. And it was nice,
man,
man. I really enjoyed that time. We had a lot of bonding time with me and the baby and me and the wife, and just being able to stay up with her. Because she had like 8 weeks. So she was out for 2 months because she works in education as well. So
okay.
it was dope. And I worked 5 minutes away. So when I did go back to work, I was coming back on my breaks and just kind of helping out and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I
Oh
truly,
yeah,
truly I did enjoy that time.
I feel you, man. It's just knowing what you got at home is just like a like
Bruh.
like
Bruh.
I I tell everybody I'm just like I'm not trying to diss nobody. So like for my dogs that's out in the streets, man. When you finally find that one,
Yeah.
I say like, and I'm pretty sure you relate to it. Like once you went to, I don't know how you got married. I don't know, was you at the courthouse or y'all actually had a wedding? I had a courthouse wedding.
We
It was
did
just
both.
like I did both.
Mhm.
We once I said even when I put the ring on her finger, like proposing, but when I said I do, it was just like so surreal, man.
Mhm.
Like them 2 weeks of like being freshly married, it was forward, man. I was just like,
Yeah.
man, I'm a married can't believe
Right, right. Nah, that's how I was too. I was so nervous at the courthouse. We went to courthouse in September, then we had a wedding in December, like a ceremony or whatever in December. So like I was definitely nervous up in that mug. I was like, damn, I'm about to get married for real. I was like, really? Because I used to, by the time I had started living for Christ and stuff like that for about a year or so, about a year. So like all that stuff was getting out of me, like the worldly life and the bouncing from girl to girl. Like, so that was getting out of me. So it wasn't so much worried about that. It's just like, like you said, like I said earlier, like this whole family is about to have a weight on my shoulders, or I'm about, like I said, we about to be the foundation. And so I just want to be strong and steady for them. Um, so I was just worried, like, man, what if I fail? That's kind of one of my big things, I
yeah.
guess.
Like as men, we tend to worry about that a lot though. I know we
Yeah.
talked about it earlier. It's you know, at the end of the day, can you look up the guy and just like I did my very best, and if I can tell him, yeah, I did, it won't perfect, but I did. I feel like that's something to be proud of, and I hope he can be proud of me when I tell him, yeah.
Hmm.
And you know, I I hope and pray like if if they're in the heat of the moment, he can show me things to get to a point of success. And I hope that for everybody. I don't want to get too much in my own family like stuff, but I've seen some bad marriages in my family, and I don't wish that on nobody.
Yeah.
So, like from me to you to everybody else who's watching, like I really hope we can all come together as men and be there for our wives, be there for our children.
That's where it started at, bro. It starts with us. And I know there's systems out there and stuff trying to keep us out of the household, but at the end of the day, bro, it starts with us. If we in
Yeah,
position, if we're in our right place, if we're doing what we're supposed to do, the rest of the family gonna fall in line. That's the way God designed it. He created man first and woman. That's just what it is. It's just his design. So if it's his design, that's the best way it's gonna work. So when we get in position, which is another reason why I do this, I lead the men's ministry of my church. Like I'm all about men and uplifting men and encouraging them. Like how I started off the podcast in my intro. Like, bro, if we can get in position, bro, in godly position, not just in position, but in godly position, like I said, on the cornerstone of Christ, bro, we gonna be all right.
what's
When we lean into
what's your
Him.
church?
I go to
Like where your
Grace
church
Christian.
is?
I go to Grace Christian Church, man. It's on 401. I saw you in Wake Forest Walmart, right?
Yeah,
So like if you go, you know where Perry Creek is at? On
I'm not
Capitol and
familiar with
Perry
that.
Creek.
It's on
Y-
Capitol.
Well, no, it's on 401, which is like parallel to Capitol. Like if you take Perry Creek, you can get to 401 that way. 401 is like where the Sheets at and the Wendy's is over there. But I'll shoot you the
See, I
address. I
might.
mean, yeah, I shoot you the address, man. You should pull up 10:45 on Sundays. You definitely should pull up, man. Most definitely.
Oh yeah. But I'm saying, I be here, but at work on Saturdays and Sundays. But I'm gonna try to take off and see what you're talking. Like, cause me and my wife been trying to find a church and go to a church, cause she lives an hour and a half. Like her church is like an hour and a half away, and to try to get off from work and try to go. Man, but I, and one thing she wanted, and you know, I need to incorporate that too, like having the kids more involved with God. Granted, they 4 autistic and a 1-year-old can only know so much, but to expose
Right.
them early
Hmm.
so they can walk with God at a young age. So when they become men, they don't have to search for them; they already have them.
Right. Which, like he's like, which is our job as well. I think. I mean, if you even start with prayer, just praying every night with them. Even though you 1-year-old don't know what you're saying all the time, your 4-year-old might not know what you're saying, but you expose them right there. You allowing the spirit to enter in and be in that place. So even starting there, or even reading the Bible to them, or like there's children's Bibles out there. That's which me and my kids do. There's also videos, something called Right Now Media. It's like kids videos, all that kind of stuff to show them a video at night. We talk about it, we discuss it, and we keep. I have older kids, of course, so they understand a little bit more. But still, even like you said, exposing them, and it's the spirit that does the work. It's not like you can save them. Only God can. So you got it, bro. Just start with prayers. Pray with them tonight, and do it every night. That's exposing them. So and that's part of being a godly man and a godly leader.
Yeah, I feel that. Because I say the past couple of nights, my wife been asking me to pray with them, and I've been doing it. And you know, oh man, I can go back to Pastor Monroe again, and I can't sit here and say I haven't been. I don't always pray like I should, but I try. You know, especially when times are dark. I would say sometimes I have shied away, and I can honestly say deep down, I always knew and always know God is always with me. I can say I've been frustrated with God and because of what I have gone through, but I
Mhm.
know He's with me. It's just whatever test I was going through at the time is just. you know, it's something I need to learn from it. But that doesn't mean I should just not talk to him because I'm upset and angry. That's why I should talk to him, even when times are good. Always praise him. And I was going to ask you this too. Since we're on the topic, like, have you ever been in spot of prayer, like just like at nighttime when you praying with your wife, your kids, like, you know, do you all like have you always had your prayers just kind of like flow, or you kind of like come up with it, you just kind of let God go, like, what I'm trying to say. Have you kind of let
All the
God kind of
above, all the
like,
above,
okay,
bro.
okay,
Like, and there's no like, there's no perfect way to pray. Like we all might pray differently. You know what I mean? As long as you're giving him the glory and the praise. Sometimes it flows. Sometimes like I do follow like a pattern of prayer. Like when I'm praying with my wife is, I adore him, give him adoration. And then I go to like confession. I go to confession, so like confessing my sins, things I've done wrong. Every time I'm in my alone time with him, I adore him, like I praise him, I confess, and then I thank him, and then I do supplication. So it's like acts, ACTS, supplication. Now I'm praying for people, praying for myself. So I kind of follow that pattern when I'm praying with my wife or by myself. But with my kids, I just
okay,
really pray for them, like their day. I pray the spirit flows through them. But something like I said, like you said, sometimes it's choppy, sometimes it don't come out right. Sometimes it flows real nice. So like that was a good prayer. Like I did, but like at the end of the day, bro, like living for Christ is not our works. Basically, it's not what we do or what we can do. Like we're not good enough to do. It's always the Bible says that it is the Spirit and by Christ that wills and does the work inside of us. So basically, he give us the will to live for Him, and then He also give us the work, the empowering work to do His will. So it's not of us. It's not something we can do. So we can't. I know for me it's hard. It was hard in the beginning because I was trying to do it in my own power, and I was like, "Yo, I gotta get right. I gotta do it. Oh, I forgot to pray tonight. That going to God mad at me." Like, that's how my mindset was early on, but that's not how God worked. But he a loving God, like compassionate, and He ain't looking for you to be perfect because He already sent His perfect Son to die for us.
yeah,
So don't get caught up in like, oh man, I don't know the right words to pray. Like you ain't gotta hit these because sometimes you hear people pray, they hit these spot on words, these church words. Like, bro, he's praying so good. But like, bro, it ain't gotta be like that. It ain't as you grow deeper in your faith, maybe it'll turn in that. But like right now, bro, no, you can just have a conversation like we talking right now. Like God, like I'm frustrated. Like I was frustrated when my not my youngest anymore, my second youngest, when she went back with her mom, I was praying heavy, like God, don't let her go back because I thought she was better off with me. You know what I mean? I was just praying, and then she still did. So I was frustrated. Like I was sad. I was hurt. Like, dang, God, I thought you were gonna do this for me. But like at the end of the day, is it what I want, or is it what God has planned? Because what if it's a better situation for her, or what if she goes back for a couple years and comes back? God has His own plan. Just because I pray for it doesn't mean He has to do what I say, right? So and I was frustrated, but I talked to him about it. Like I came to him like, yo, I'm frustrated. Like I'm sad. Like, I'm hurt. Like I feel like we live in a godly household. You should have her be here. You know what I mean? And he ain't. He didn't. So does it mean like I stopped serving him? Of course not. Right? It's
yeah,
His will be done. It's His will be done. So like, don't come in there and try to be perfect with your prayers. Got to be sounding all nice. Nah, bro. Just talk. Just talk. And I promise you, it will feel more real and raw than you trying to hit all these hot words, talk about, what I'm talking about. I'm sure you've been in churches and everybody prays certain ways, right? So like don't get caught up in that, bro. Just be open with them.
got you, man. I appreciate that. I I had seen a verse. I don't remember. I think it was in Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy. I can't pronounce. I'm sorry,
You
but
good.
it was basically it was basically in the terms of, don't get cocky. Like whatever was going on with you, it's because I allowed it. Don't
Hmm.
think you did it because like your own work. I allowed it, and
Yeah.
I know when there was times where I felt like I was frustrated, and it was like I would shy away, and my mindset was I don't want to. I don't want God to feel like I'm using Him in my time of need all the time. But he tells you to come to Him, so it's
Yeah.
like I was kind of contradicting myself, you know. And I felt like my biggest thing was like my ego and pride had was just taking over, and I still go through it at times. I'm trying to be more submissive to Him and His will when it comes to my pride, and it's hard, but I know he's gonna guide me to get where I want to be with a good relationship with him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Most definitely he will, bro. It's he who draws you in. Like he draws you in. Like so the fact that you even here right now, we ran into each other, the fact that you even like feel his spirit like drawing you in, but that's a good thing. It ain't about being perfect. It's about living for him.
Oh yeah.
So like that's exciting, bro. Like I'd love to connect more even after this. Like I said,
Oh
this is
yeah,
what
for
I
sure.
do. This is what I do, especially on a spiritual tip. Like I'm about fatherhood, but I'm also about your soul and leading from a godly perspective.
Oh yeah, man. Oh man, I need to get more into it. Like my dad, oh this is his bread and butter, man. He could do this all day.
Yeah,
Like when it comes to being a dad, joking about my kids, like I love being a dad, and I love being a husband. You know, I love God. God's always with me. I'm trying to build that up to where y'all are.
hey, bro. Yeah, you get there, man. Why don't you continue pressing towards the mark, man? Continue pressing towards the mark, man. So what's your favorite part about fatherhood, like so far, or like what you been enjoying the most?
Seeing my kids grow up together, I can say like just them laughing, fighting. It's just them growing up together, seeing their personalities just intertwine and mash together. Them, it's just everything in one, just a day to day life of them being kids
Hmm.
and me sharing, with my wife. It's it's just amazing, man. How about like what about you though? Like, what is like your favorite thing?
Oh man, I got all girls. I got 5 girls, and you know how you were saying earlier about your wife, how you could just like be yourself and you just feel open.
Mhm.
Like having girls, bro, you always Superman, and no matter what, like I was talking to my wife about this the other day. Only with she does a good job of this too, but like only with my kids and Guy that I don't have to be nobody. Like as a man, our whole life we had to be somebody. We had to, we had to. If you was an athlete, you had to be the best athlete, right? If you was, you had to have a certain presentation as a man. I mean, you couldn't be too soft. You had to be hard, and then you know how it is when we was kids growing up, right? But when you have like kids in general, I mean, I'm assuming with sons too, but like I said, I only have daughters. Like, I don't have to be nobody.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to. All I have to be is dad. And when I walk in the room and they
Oh
walk
yeah.
in the room or walk in the home and they just run up to you and say what's up and just talk your head off about stuff that don't matter to me at least, but it matters to them. That's my favorite part, man. I love being a girl dad. Like I always wanted a son, but like these girls, man, like I said, only with God, only with these daughters, I don't have to be nobody, and I could just be
Yeah.
myself, and I'm accepted for who I am. So that's my favorite part, bro. I love it.
I feel that, man. That's true. That's real. I, you know, with my kids, sometimes I get there, they don't even pay me no mind, man. Sometimes I can just get. Sometimes they'll bomb rush me and did that. In my oldest case, I call him a little troll because he like to call me mom. I don't know where he got it from, but he'll call me mom, and I'm like, I'm dad, but I'll let you have it sometimes.
Yeah.
But my youngest, he'll just talk my head off about nothing. Sometimes my oldest, I say talk in his own language, but I never forget just one morning I'm washing dishes. My youngest coming up, he's like, Dad, I'm like, what's up? He said, what you doing here? And I'm like, I'm trying to make sure I heard that. I'm like, what you mean? What you doing here? Like, but I live here. He kind of just look at me and just like, okay, and walk away. What's
they
going on, man?
they be doing crazy stuff, man. Like, what's up with these kids?
My oldest, he's very, very active. He flipped off the bed, and I was prepared for it. I had a like pillow set for him because I was just like, I don't have this pillow set. He gonna bump that. He gonna bump that cranium, man. But it's like sometimes he'll bump it, and it's like it just add more fuel to his fire. He gets this thing. He's like, yeah. I'm like, relax, man. Man, I'm just like, I got one overactive one and one a little bit more relaxed. But when they both hyped up, man,
So
I'm
it's a
like,
loud household. Daughters are hype, and they say sons are so hype. I just couldn't imagine because some of my girls just be running all the time. I couldn't imagine having no son, dog.
oh man, it's like you see that you'll see just that I want to be tough sometimes, like from being a boy dad. And now I have nieces, and like just from that, like when my nieces are mad versus when my son's mad, it's a big difference. Like I know like when they're trying to be tough on me, and it's like, okay, you need to relax, but like I get you upset. And when my nieces, like mainly my youngest niece, because this is weird enough to say, I grew up with my three oldest nieces to some extent. Like me and my oldest niece, uh, I would basically say that's my niece, but that's like my baby sister. Like that's my girl, man.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like with my youngest niece is more I'm upset, be soft versus I gotta be a little bit more tough with them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And with my wife, she just know I want a little girl so bad, so I can just experience like that softness and not have to be, all the time. Like,
Is it tough for you to be like that sometimes? Like just to because
not
sometimes
really,
you just want to
cause
chill.
not really. I got used to it, cause I say like this with my oldest. I had him all the time, so I kind of implemented being both parents. Like I kind of had to be a little bit more softer, and since like I can say I cuddled a lot more with my oldest when he was younger than my oldest than my youngest,
Mm-hmm.
and about my wife being like he lived with both of us, I don't have to be as soft with my youngest. It's like I got kind of used to it, but when he wants me, I'm there.
Yeah.
So it's like I think it was more so me learning how to be more tough and soft because my oldest is my first child. For the most part, I'm not doing it all alone, but for the most part, I was alone. So it was just like
Mm-hmm.
more soft on my oldest. I can't admit that. And with my youngest, I'm having to learn to be more soft because it's like that transition to being soft and having a woman there all the time, and it's like okay, I need to be more hard, but not too hard because I have been too
Yeah.
hard. Sometimes
Oh
I
yeah.
forget. Like he's one, he's four. Like tone it down. So I think that's something I'm still learning. I'm doing better. It's we black. It's a little bit more.
A little more
You better
pressure.
watch it.
Yeah.
Get that belt on.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm trying to learn to refrain from it if needed, because you know, I feel like there's more ways to discipline your children than just, you know, getting a belt or just popping them. I try to talk to them. If they do it again, then, implement a little bit more discipline.
Right. Yeah. So I used to get beat heavy as a kid because I was the one I was doing stuff too. But that's something me and my wife, she kind of pushed onto me, like, beating him up, or not beating him up, but like a whooping, like the belt is not always the first solution. Like you
Yeah.
can get the same result other ways. So I definitely had
Yeah.
to learn that. But I mean, I've also got daughters, so I crumbled a couple times and not did it was real soft, and I should have been harder. And especially with them, some of them not being here all the time, it makes you even more softer because you want to have that time and experience that time with them, not just be fussing at them the whole time. But my wife get
Yeah.
on me like, bro, you can't switch up, because the ones that do be here all the time, they see that. So I definitely sometimes I be having to find that middle ground myself. But with daughters, bro, you think you're gonna be not as hard, but sometimes you gotta buck up with them jokers because they'll try you.
Man, I got two older brothers, and they got my eldest brother got three girls. The ones I grew up with, and my oldest, well, my brother, because technically my eldest brother's my cousin, but you know how it go.
Yeah, I
But
feel you.
my older brother, like his little girl, is like I can honestly say like them two guys before the kids, some of the toughest guys, rugged, don't show emotion, and it's like when they became dads, it's just like I thought I'd never see the day I see my brother say certain things. I'm like, what did you say? This is my like you talking to me like that? Like, I'm just, and I'm like, even my dad, like he all boys and got grandkids and granddaughters, and like how soft he became as a grandparent. I'm like, man, what was that
Right.
when I was
What?
growing up? You supposed to get that belt to me, man.
Right.
And
You ain't
I'm
never
just
lied. They be buying stuff
uh,
all the time. Like, damn, I used to ask for stuff. Well, I ain't get that.
my, they was younger and they had cell phones. I had to wait till I was a teenager.
That's a fact. I got my junior year of high
Yeah,
school.
man, like I'm just like, I guess if and when I get there, I see. I'm like, all right, it's different when you raise them versus you just get to spoil all the time. Cause
Yeah.
we'll see. I hope one day I get promoted to granddad and get to experience it.
Right, right. Yeah, I ain't looking forward to it. I want to stay young right now. My knees already hurt. Trying to stay young as possible.
My knees about 70. I get it.
So I guess in the near future, what is one thing that, I know we talked about a lot of different things, but one thing you really want to focus on of changing in a good way, like developing for your family. It could be for your marriage or for your kids. Like, what is one thing that you really about to harp on and trying to develop for the betterment of your family?
Hmm, that's a good question. I never thought about it like as a whole because I kind of like broke it in parts. Maybe like being in a part where we can just communicate as a family and whole. Like, granted, I know I got toddlers, but when they're older, communication, staying positive. If they need something, and like, there's more so me and my wife. Like, financially being able to provide what they want and need to our kids, and if they're doing what they're doing with school, having that communication to be like, hey, Dad, can I get some shoes just because, or you know, I had, or can we take a trip? Just having that communication and operating as one fan, like one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would really love that for my family. It's like you only see that in TV shows, and I want to have that.
Hmm. I get
I
that.
know
That's dope.
you feel like. How about you? Like, what's something you feel like I want better for my family in the near future?
I think one thing I'm focusing on is doing better about having like Bible studies. Like I would do it sporadically, like with my family. Like I said, we read every night, or we watch a video, whatever the case may be. But like Saturdays, sometimes we get caught up in the day. Like my 6-year-old playing basketball now, and usually in the mornings, that's when we like I would study first, and then I would study with the kids and all that stuff like that. So I want to do a better job of studying with my wife, me and my wife. We're supposed to be getting in Galatians and studying that together, and also a better job with really just studying with my kids that are here most of the time, which is my 10 and 6 and the 4-month-old. So just doing a better job about that, and really just being a leader in that, and not taking the easy way out and not doing it, which is easy, right? So really just continuing laying that foundation and that, and so that's for me right now. That's kind of my thing and my goal. Continue to put him first and not letting the day get by, because like I said, it's easy not to do nothing.
Yeah, it's facts. Maybe one thing I can, maybe some advice, maybe like, you say you do it usually in the morning. Maybe try to do it a little bit in the afternoon, like schedule it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you can, implement all your daughters, like you can get them like on a call, because I think FaceTime has like FaceTime or like Google Meet, like you can like have like the little multiple people on a call, and you can try to implement all your kids into Bible study if they have time to themselves. You might not can, but try to schedule it where it's like, okay, I'm trying to find that open little space for it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I feel like that could work better. And like once you got that schedule down pat, it's like more
It's
fluent in.
clockwork.
So it's not.
Yeah. I like that. Now I'm gonna actually, and we got a new calendar up, so I'm gonna have to write it up there. I like that. I'm gonna have to do that. Figure that out.
I can do it for myself now since I'm saying it. So
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah. You're right. Hey, shoot, you can, bro. You can. Even if it's just you and your wife right now. Like I said, you got a 4 and
Yeah,
1 year old.
that's how we started.
Yeah.
Like, cause what we was doing, cause she was working. I'm here at nighttime from 7 to 7, and at times she'll work like second shift or first shift. I think she was working first shift for a while. Like, so what we would do was send the boys to my parents, cause it's like I get off work, I'm tired, and she got to be
Mm-hmm.
at work. So what we would do is like Sundays, and it's if regardless of if my son's with my his mom or with my parents, what we would do on Sundays we'll like get the Bible, because I keep it on all the time. I keep it on me all the time. So
Hey, that's what's
um,
up.
so we would read together. We'll take notes, and I like my wife. She actually had like Bible studies, and I need to get one myself, and then we could do it better. And even if like the kids are at home, we can try to implement. Granted, I know they ain't gonna stay focused for it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we're gonna just
Mm-hmm. That's a
say,
fact.
just exposing them at a young age. Like I was praying last night. My oldest, I was like, like, okay, man. But you kind of opened my eyes to, just pushing through with the kids. Granted they don't understand, but just exposing them. And the funny thing you say, like when we eat, my youngest be like, sometimes he'll be like, you gotta say grace, and sometimes he'll try to have us do it at night too.
Mm-hmm.
So to some extent, you know, praying especially when it comes to like his food, we doing good, but just praying in general, I think. Well, I know it's like something we gotta do better on. So, I appreciate you just giving me that advice on like just exposing them to it, regardless of if they understand or not. So I appreciate that.
It was deaf. All about the spirit, man. Power of the spirit. Us connecting is all about the spirit, bro. I promise. I want you to like speak to your future kids, because like I said, this is for the archives, my guy. One day your kids gonna listen to this. So just any type of message, or just, it could be short, it could be long. Just whatever you want to say to them. Because at the end of the day, man, it's all about fatherhood and everything we talked about. It's all encompassing, marriage, God, all that kind of stuff, all about fatherhood. So you give them a little nugget or something.
Man, if y'all seeing this, do your best. You always have me, regardless if I'm here in the physical or here in the spirit. I'm always gonna root for y'all. I love y'all so much. Regardless of what you're going through, do your best, give it your best. You know, don't give up. Just don't. If you're passionate about something, go 10 toes. Have a backup plan, but go hard. Do what you got to do. If you have kids, take care of your kids. Do better than what I did, and take care of your wife. Love your wife. Honor yourself. Keep God in your life, and that's all I really got, man.
That's awesome, man. You good, bro. Hey, I'm sure you're gonna be teaching them a lot more lessons as they get older. So yeah, but hey, this is episode 119. Hope everybody stay blessed.